Hello and good morning from sunny London again. The sun is shining and it's a glorious day. Praise the Lord. Amen. Hallelujah. And today I feel in my heart to speak to you about an experience that I had in Medjugorje, a place that I hold dear to my heart, a place that uh, I have to owe a lot of gratitude to God for and Our Lady, because it's where I converted more and it's where I received my calling, my future calling. And I'll just talk to you about what happened there, because I'm sure that you're wondering, why are you doing all these videos? What is so urgent that you're doing them, or what's the reason behind it? There's an urgency in it because I've given my life to God and He's called me, and I've given up everything. I've given up my home, I've given up my job, I've given up my security, I've given up my family, I've given up friends that were holding me back to help me prepare and move me forward. So Jesus is always detaching us from things that hold us back on this journey. So I'm going to just speak to you about what happened at the Blue Cross and what convicted my heart to do what I'm doing now and how far I've come on my journey. Well, you see, I had a huge conversion in Medjugorje about 6 years ago, around this time, and I had an experience of Our Lady, a very powerful experience. It was mystical, mystical graces were given to me, and that's the only way I can describe it. I'm not a mystic though, but I was given mystical graces, and those graces are out there. Just look at the faith healers and the people who can deliver that are lay people, and look them up. The proof is in the pudding. So what happened was I converted there on the spot. I felt Our Lady speak to me and touch my head 6 years ago, and she cured me from, partly cured me from addictions and afflictions and anxiety. And I was possibly maybe 30-40% healed. And because I haven't been healed before, it felt like a full healing. But every day it progresses, and every month, every year, I'm getting more healed from my addictions and afflictions. And I still fall now and again, but it's not become a lifestyle. So that's the important thing. And the more you fall, the quicker you get up. And we're living in very difficult times, very hard times. And that's the reason why I had an experience about over 2 years ago, at the Blue Cross in Medjugorje. And I'd given up my home, my family, my job, through an inspiration and inner vision of Jesus, who gave me a cross and asked me to leave and give up everything. And then it was later confirmed through a person that I met in Medjugorje, and that was the reason why I was able to give up everything. And then before I left Ireland, a friend of mine who was very charismatic said that Our Lady will come to you personally and give you your vocation. I was like, yeah, right. Well, I was praying one day in Medjugorje after giving up my home and my family and everything, and I was absolutely petrified because a lot of friends had thought I'd lost it, but I still persevered and trusted because of the grace I was given. So I did, and I was praying in front of them. There's a beautiful statue in Medjugorje at the right hand side of Our Lady of Lourdes, and I started to pray the rosary, and in the middle of the rosary, slap bang in the middle, Our Lady speaks to me in a voice that was like, oh my God, it was. I'm a schizophrenic. What the heck's going on? It was such a beautiful, clear, lady, motherly voice, and it said simply like this: "I will appear to you very soon, my child." And I was like, what the? Am I going crazy? I never told anyone about it because I thought, oh my God, this is mental. This is absolutely mental. But before that, you see, Our Lady started giving me inspirations in prayer, because I was out with my sister one night, and I was smoking at the time. I've given that up now, thanks to the help of Our Lady. And I was smoking a cigarette, and this girl was sitting in the corner. And because of my sensitivity that God's given me, which is a gift, I was able to pick up her pain, and I was propelled to go over and speak to her. Then all of a sudden, that I could feel the inspiration coming in my heart. Speak to her, tell her about Medjugorje. And I was like, no, I can't do it. Speak to her about Medjugorje. I'm calling you, I'm using you. The voice was so strong, and it was so supernatural. It's hard to explain it, but you just know that it's God. There's no way. You just know it. You're convicted. God convicts with peace. And that's my experience. So I went over and started speaking to her, and the next thing, what happened was I started to just speak to her normally and ask her how her evening was, what was wrong with her, and blah blah blah, as you do. And then I started talking about Medjugorje, my experiences, and I said, I think you should go. And she started to cry, and she said, how did you know this? How do you know this? I said, I feel Our Lady telling me to ask you to come to Medjugorje. And then she started to cry, and she started to say, I can't believe you know this, because I'm from the academy, I'm a teacher, and all my school children went on a youth festival over there, and they came back filled with the Holy Spirit and filled with fire, filled with faith, and they were so peaceful. So I wanted what they had. So I laughed and I said, well, you're right, because I went there and I came back transformed, and every time you go, you do come back transformed, because the graces in that place are outstanding, and it's a very, very special place in our time. And I don't know what happened. Sometimes God doesn't let you see the fruit, but I give her details of where to stay and stuff and what to do. But she cried and hugged me afterwards and thanked me, and my sister was with me, and she was like, it's those miracles that Our Lady gives to you, that you're dumbfounded, and then you see from years of going to Medjugorje and developing a relationship in prayer, and it's a place for deep prayer, and it's a very special place, and it's a place where you just go off on your own and you pray, and you get really mystical experiences, mystical graces. You just feel so close to God. It's a place of grace and revival, and it's very special and powerful. And then, as a confirmation of my call to Our Lady, I offered my trip out there to answer God's call to her, and I consecrated myself on the 33-day total consecration to Our Lady by the Saint Louis de Montfort, which is very powerful, and I recommend it. And I gave my life to Our Lady as I went out to stay in Medjugorje to get my calling. I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was going to stay in Medjugorje. Then I went to the Blue Cross one day, and it was just shortly after I completed my consecration, and I was transported. I can't describe where. It's just like my soul left my body, and I went somewhere, and it was an out-of-body experience. That's all I can describe it as. And I was sitting in front of a cross, and the cross got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It started spinning. It was absolutely beautiful, stunning. No colours, no jewels, no diamonds of this world could even outshine it. Nothing could outshine it. And this represented the church, because this voice, heavenly voice, it was Our Lady's, I believe, said, this is the church, my darling child. And I was like, okay. Oh. And it started to get more beautiful, more shiny. But then this sorrow hit me. I started to cry. I started to see the church for what it really was at this moment. Our Lady was like, this is the church now, my child. And the cross opened like a door, and whoop, opened like a cupboard, like a book. And out of it came everything hideous from the world: snakes, scorpions, lizards, evil spirits, demons, tarantulas, everything creepy crawly. It was disgusting, and it was putrid looking. And Our Lady said, this is the church now, my child. This is the state of the church, and it is infiltrated by my adversary, Satan. And I want you to help me fix and heal my son's church. Do you accept this calling, my child? I said yes. I said yes, because I felt the sorrow of my mother and her hurt for what the church has become. And I felt her deep, immense sorrow, and I was moved immediately to say yes. I couldn't say no. I couldn't say no. It was impossible. So then, from that's been the basis and foundation of my calling, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because every day since that, she's been with me in a special way, with a grace, and I feel her inspiring me, pushing me, leading me. I feel her beside me, I feel her with me, I feel her encouraging me, I feel her mother me. I cry in her arms sometimes when it gets hard, and I just want to dedicate today to her for what she's done for me. And I just wanted to share that with you, because that's what happened to me, and it's so real. And now I'm using my evangelization gifts, my prayer charisms, my singing charisms, all the charisms that God's given me. I'm trying to use them to write, to inspire, to blog, to vlog, whatever you call it. I'm using my gifts and my creativity to reach the corners of the earth with the good news, the gospel, and that's mending and healing the church, because there's a lot of us out there that are starving for the gospel, that are starving for Jesus, that are starving for the truth, that are starving for hope. And that's my job, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm thanking you all for the encouragement. And I just wanted to share that with you, because there's new people on this page that don't know me, that have just added me, and I just wanted to sort of summarize what I'm about, what I'm doing, and just for the people who know me out there at home, thank you so much for your ongoing encouragement and for helping this page take off, and let the Spirit lead it, and pray for me, and I'll pray for you, because we're in dangerous times, but magnificent, glorious times, because in the end her heart will triumph and the battle's won. Our Lady's called everyone to Medjugorje. She's calling all of us as her children to be apostles of love, light, hope and joy. And you're not going to stop me from doing it, because inside me is the Lion of Judah, and he's roaring. It's Jesus, and he's given me this grace to speak out, stand up for the truth. And the church, okay, it's going through a crisis, but she will rise triumphant, because we have to step out, pray and move with the Spirit and move with these times. So I'm going to leave you with a song dedicated to Our Lady. And some of you might think it's cheesy, but I don't. I just love her. So this is for you, Mama. And it goes something like this. As I kneel before you, as I bow my head in prayer, take this day, make it yours, and fill me with your love. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu. All I have I give you, every dream and wish are yours. Mother of Christ, mother of mine, present them to my Lord. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu. Amen. God bless, and hail, Holy Queen.